Could you share a story where your people or talent initiatives significantly impacted organization's performance or culture?
There are a lot. I think today we are in this forum, we are also talking about how a learning intervention made underperforming, headquarters perform and create a belief that yes, we can do a turnaround. When the performance is good, everybody claps for you. When performance is down, people are looking for, scapegoats.
As you said, capabilities. So sometimes, like when we interview people or when we hire them, we are not aware of the capabilities of what they have. How to tackle that situation? So initially, we don't know. What is your take on that?
Especially, my core philosophy is that people need people, organizations need people, organization needs capable people, and people need to work on developing capabilities of people. So everything revolves around people.
So in your work across organization, what patterns have you observed? The common mistakes or gaps companies make when it comes to nurturing the talent and the learning culture?
Top organizations operate with a different mindset, which operate at a scale. They know that if learning teams are not working in building the capability of the team members, I think they are not going to achieve their ambition, what they are looking for.
What's one piece of advice you wish someone had given you in your early career? So on today's Pharma Now podcast, we welcome Mr. Santosh Dayal, a leader with deep insight into talent, people and organizational growth, especially in high-stake industries. With a strong background in aligning human capital with business ambitions, Mr. Santosh is someone who understands that people are the core of any sustainable enterprises. Glad to have you, Mr. Santosh.
Thank you.
Sir, what has been your part to HR, talent and leadership, and what motivated you to choose this field? So we would really like to know your journey throughout.
Thank you for having me, Kadamri, over here. And it's been a journey for a couple of decades, a little bit more than that.
Oh.
And when I say that how it is a discovery process for me, how it evolved. You don't plan for a journey like this, but I would say that I'm lucky enough to work with organizations where I got exposure to work on talent development, training and capability development of people. So I kept on getting assignments which were related to capability development, and that is something which made me understand that that's an area where I am an expert, or I can become an true expert, a contributing expert to the organization. So especially my core philosophy is that people need people, organizations need people, organization needs capable people, and people need to work on developing capabilities of people. So everything revolves around people, and it will be impossible for a person to live in a place where there are no people around. When you're working in a talent development group or a training industry or HR front, you're surrounded with people, and that is something which gives me a lot of inspiration. That is in a nutshell, I can say.
Very true. So as you said, capabilities. So sometimes, like when we interview people or when we hire them, we are not aware of the capabilities of what they have. So sometimes people are capable of doing things, some people are not, and how to tackle that situation? So initially we don't know. What is your take on that?
See, people have a level of competency or the skill which they bring in. It's all about the organizations need to aware that whether are they clear about what kind of skills they need, skill set what they need. People are joining in, especially the new employees who are coming in, they may or may not be up to that level of an expectation. But you have to hire people who are meeting some of your minimum skill standards. So the gap lies in both areas. Organizations unclear about what kind of a set of skills which they are looking for. So they hire for opportunity rather than they hire for fitment. So that's one thing which I have observed. We need to have clear definitions of skills, that what is the skill which we are looking at. And more people grow in the organization. I see that the problem lies more in behavior rather than the skill. So that's the way it goes in the higher level. It is about the behavioral level of people, and then you need to look at those elements when you are hiring them.
Like
So in a nutshell, I would say that first is that if I'm hiring for a frontline level of a job, I need to be very clear that what level of a skill people should qualify and get in. So I should have a complete benchmarking over there, and I should allow only those kind of people who are coming in. And basis on the bench line only you can develop them. So that's one. And when they grow higher up in the leadership position, it becomes more of a behavior thing which you're looking at, whether they bring in those leadership behaviors or not. So there also a clarity is required whether you need, do you have it or not. Otherwise, people are looked for performances and then they're getting hired. So that can be a gap area, I would say.
So in your work across organization, what patterns have you observed? The common mistakes or gaps companies make when it comes to nurturing the talent and the learning culture?
So learning culture is a big thing. I think when you say culture, I define culture as the way you do something. While organizations exist for business. So learning has to be a part of business. It has to enable business. It has to generate business. People do not join organization to learn. In fact, many think that the learning is complete and now they don't have to learn. But in fact, in the job, on the go learning is very high. So I would say one of the big mistakes or the area of development for organizations is that how do you do job design? If my job designs are clear, whether learning finds a place over there or not. Otherwise, I would be force-fitting learning into it. People would not be interested to learn if it is just for fun or it has to help them do their job better. Any learning is going to be successful if it is going to help them do their job better, because people are working in an organization to achieve their dreams and goals.
Yes.
If it helps them, I think they would be interested. They'll immerse themselves into it. If it is coming as a separate program, nobody is interested into it.
So it is important for them to understand that it's not just another program, but it's for your own sake.
Yes. More than that, it's more than their understanding. I would say that, have you designed it that way? Has the learning team designed it in a way where the person knows that it is going to benefit me at the workplace? Or is it just like another information which I am gathering? Means nobody is interested to gather just another information. If it is helping me to do my job better, I'm repeating, but I'll be interested. And if I'm interested, I'll learn. Most of the learning does not happen because people are not interested. People are not paying attention to. But people pay attention to if they see their benefit. So that's the designing gap, I would say, from an L&D team, which goes in a big way. It's learning is not an event. Learning is a continuous process. And people who are having an event-based approach, I think they'll have a challenge.
And what is your take on applications of the learning? So people might design the programs of to build up the capabilities. But what is your take on whatever the people are learning, they are applying to it?
So I think that is the answer. The design has to be in such a way that I need to visualize how people are going to apply. It would not be left, it should not be left on people that you go and figure out how do you apply the learning. You came in a hotel, couple of days you learned, you had some good PowerPoint presentation, some videos, some activities, some fun. couple of presenters, good food, all those. After that, if you leave it to them that you go and figure out how do you apply, it will never happen like that. The design says that your 50% of time, if you're a facilitator, has to go into the application phase, where 25% in the event phase and 50% in the application phase. Means you have to do a double of an effort in the application phase, where you have to constantly get into somebody's job life day in, day out, and you need to encourage, ask, check, question how the person is doing. You need to, at times you can call it motivate, but I call it, you need to inspire people to continue doing that. You should not leave it on learners to apply it. Yes, their involvement, their motivation is important for a success, but there are three pillars of any learning application success, I would say, is that one is the learner who is coming in, that person's motivation. Second is the facilitator's preparation. And third is the leadership buy-in. Whether my leadership is an advocate, whether the leadership is involved, whether my leadership is also practicing the same thing which I am talking.
Yes.
So these are three things which has to fall in place, and many a time one piece is missing and the application goes away.
So
then learning becomes a very good event. We liked it, was there in a 5-star hotel and all those.
So regular check-ins are important.
Regular check-ins, consistent follow-ups, consistent reporting in terms of what's working, what's not working, redirections, celebration of success, all these are important.
Very true.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you had to design an ideal pharma-ready L&D or HR framework from scratch, what foundational pillars would you build on it?
I believe I'm doing it. I'm working with a pharma company only, but there's nothing called as ideal. Organizations behave differently. But if somebody is beginning today in 2025, and then the organizations, one unique thing about pharma is that not many things have changed in a way of customer interactions. Still the reps go and talk to customers, they talk to doctors, they try to convince them about the brands. So if somebody has to design it from a scratch, he has to look at it from what kind of talent the person is bringing in, what kind of journeys people are getting into, and what's the tenure of that journey. Second, the facilitator or the learning team should also have a say in the job design. If you do not design the job in a way where the learning application has a place, the learning team will not be successful. So these are two areas I think, if somebody is starting from a scratch, a strategy has to be there, a blueprint for entire journey has to be there. No events has to be designed, only journeys should be finding a place. It has to be tech enabled. It has to be people oriented, where people connect is there, and it has to be leadership driven. Learning team cannot drive it. Leadership has to own it. Leaders need to take the learning language. Learning team need to take the leader's language. So that's the way it has to exchange. So it's a complex process, but it is an enjoyable process if anybody is doing it.
Correct. So how do you think leadership development and succession planning should work in a pharma environment, given regulatory sensitive skill demands and rapid change?
Yeah, I think regulatory has made the talent development or the requirements of scientific communication even more stronger. So the requirement of people to learn, being on the feet, talk sense, talk the right stuff is very important. So the need of learning has actually got increased when you see the regulatory environment becoming more stronger, people are more stringent. It was always there, but people used to think that maybe it will go away, but it is becoming in fact more stronger. So you need to talk science, you need to talk sense. These are the two things which is going to be more stronger in future. So more and more work which has to be done by people who are on the field as well as supporting them beyond the field, kind of.
Okay. So, could you share a story where your people or talent initiatives significantly impacted organization's performance or culture?
There are a lot. I think today we are in this forum, we are also talking about how a learning intervention made underperforming, headquarters perform and create a belief that yes, we can do a turnaround. Generally, when the performance is good, everybody claps for you. When the performance is down, people are looking for scapegoats. What happens? What has happened with one of the project which we are talking in this forum also, is that we identified headquarters which were not functioning well, which were actually degrowing. People were demotivated, and when demotivation is high, there's always on the verge of exits. With the consistent support over a year, we gave them the confidence that yes, we can do a turnaround. And there's an example that around 80-85% of those headquarters or the business units got transformed. So this is an example of complete turnaround from a negative growth to a positive growth, and then retention of people. And that's an example of a learning intervention. So learning intervention generally in past used to talk about how much people learned, how much they scored, what skills they gained. So it is not about skills, it's about your performance. If you can help people perform, then learning is successful. Otherwise, it's better to go back to college and study something, I would say.
So, what do you think is the role of leaders or leadership towards the employees or people who are underperforming? And also from underperformance comes demotivation. So, what should be their role?
I think in large means that's one of the areas that if leaders see underperformance, they lose their mind. So, as when you get into a managerial position or a leadership position, you need to know that these things would happen. Like you've got good days, you're going to have bad days also. So you've got performing headquarters, you would have performing businesses, you would also have non-performing businesses, and there will be reasons which you need to course correct. And what will help you is that know how sensibly you are behaving in that time, what kind of conversations you are having with people. Are you really doing problem solving? That's a time where you need to do some root cause analysis of your issues, rather than putting blame on people. So general tendency of bad managers is that they put a blame on non-performing people. While people are not non-performing, it's that performance is down. People are still putting their hard work. Something is not clicking. Job of a leader is to remove that bottleneck, and that is something which they need to understand more and more.
Okay, I can see a book written by you on leadership. So it's Ducking Nonsense, How to Lead at Work Without Losing Your Mind. Okay, I think the book just got launched. So here is the book called Ducking Nonsense. I would really like to know what is the meaning of the title first, Ducking Nonsense, and what really made you write this book. I think the cover page is really amazing. The color combination came out really well. So also our audience would really love to know what is this book about.
Yeah, so I think your last question was about leadership. So this is my understanding about that. What mistakes people do when they become a manager, when they want to lead people, and they create a lot of nonsense. So what I understand is that when we become managers, we think that we are sons or daughters of better God, and the person opposite to me is an inferior personality, I'm a superior personality. That's the way it is even defined. Managers are called as superiors, which I actually have a problem. That's a nonsense definition of a manager. The person cannot be superior to you. Maybe people understand that they become superior. So what happens that we we copy and paste few of the behaviors of whatever managers we have seen, and we mix it with our own nonsense, and then we supply it to the world. So this book is about my observation of seeing people, my own observation about myself, that what kind of nonsense I create, and my conversations with people. So it's an interesting take on how do you lead in this current era, what kind of people are coming in, how do you become more sensible rather than trying to become a perfect leader. Everybody is trying to become a right leader, accurate leader, a perfect leader. This book is about how to be a sensible person, how to be a sensible leader. And that's why, when the nonsense comes, how do you duck it?
Okay.
And when you develop nonsense, I think you need to be aware about it. So you don't throw nonsense, and when the nonsense comes to you, a little bit of a tips and tricks. How do you duck it?
Okay, very interesting title, and I think this is book for all the leaders, and every leader or a budding leader should read it. So, sir, we are keeping this copy with us.
Yes. My pleasure. My pleasure. Gift it to your boss also. If there are a lot of learning. What I said, that it is for anybody who's a leader or a manager, who is having a manager or want to become a manager or a leader in the future. So it is basically for anybody who's moving into a corporate world where you suddenly enter with a lot of aspirations and expectations, and you see what I have thought, what I have learned in my MBA college or wherever, I see something different. Ultimately it is about people to people relationships. Leave it.
Very interesting, and I'm eager to read this.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Could you, in your opinion, how can pharma firms make employees view learning and development not as a compliance requirement, but as a key differentiator and a really growth opportunity?
So I think pharma firms, when you say, you would see it's a huge number of pharma companies which is operating. Top organizations operate with a different mindset, which operate at a scale. They know that if learning teams are not working in building the capability of the team members, I think they are not going to achieve their ambition, what they are looking for. So it's a very integral part of their thought process. So if it has, the change has to come, many of the organizations need to think about it as that it is not only about regulatory requirement or compliance requirement, it is also about what are you doing for people who are building your business. So there are people who are working with an organization 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, but if they remain at the same level of a capability, have you served them back? Learning is a way to serve people back, where it opens their horizons, it opens their capabilities. They are doing phenomenally higher level jobs, higher level of a skill jobs when they learn within a particular organization. So it's a way of serving back as well as getting benefit of outcomes which we generate from people. So it's a mutually benefiting system where you create not only as a mandatory process, learning team as a mandatory process, no. Not only about compliance trainings, no. It's about serving them. What do they need? What do they need to grow? What do they need to achieve their goals in life? And if they are growing, organizations would grow. That's the mutual way.
Organizations are built by the people.
Yeah.
And sometimes the people become very comfortable at their jobs, and the work becomes very monotonous. And it's really important for the firms to figure that out and serve it back, as you said. So creating programs which really interest them and help them to grow. Eventually, it works both the ways. If they are growing, the organization is growing. Correct.
So it's like I've worked with sales, I've worked with a little bit of a stint of marketing, I've worked with L&D learning team, the sales training side of it. I worked with Indian counterparts, international counterparts. So all these, I can't say that it is only because of my capability which I have been able to do it. It's also because organization was carefully crafting programs where I can get exposed to, got trained, and then I got to know about my own capabilities that, hey, I can serve. So it's always benefiting both the ways.
Yes.
Otherwise, people might end up saying that I worked with an organization for 15, 20, 30 years, but I'm working at the same level, a bit of pay hike. What are you giving back to the employee?
Yes. But sometimes it's also very difficult for the organizations as well, because organizations try to, see the capabilities of the people and give them those opportunities which they are capable of. But nowadays people are like, that is not in my KRA. That doesn't help them neither the organization nor the employee as well. So,
So I say that if you keep on doing what is there in your KRA, you will keep on getting what is there in your KRA, which is 7% raise. So if you really want growth in life, you have to do things beyond your KRA. And there will be few people who will understand, and they'll be the path breakers.
Very well said. I think this statement might be controversial if I'm saying this, but nowadays the Gen Zs must learn this, that going beyond your KRAs will make you grow in your future.
Maybe means. I was just before this, there was an interaction happening with the panel discussion, the book launch. The Gen Z came up, the word came up. According to me, I think these are some categorization to manage a big workforce.
Okay.
So, when I interact with people as a manager or a leader, the person might be, so probably you might be Gen Z, which you define, but ultimately you are a person.
Yes.
So it's about human psychology, human values which the person carries. So I would not be driven by a group value. People have individual values. Organizations would have space or should have space for individuals to grow. And this is categorization, which is okay to categorize, people are born in this and that era, Gen Zs, and all, it was there, Gen X, baby boomers, or whatever. It will keep on coming, Gen Alphas here. Within 5-6 years or 10 years time, people will be talking about Gen Alphas. And they would be the problem. They are not the problem kids. Gen Zs are also not the problem kids. The only thing is that the way I would have defined my long-term association, I've worked with the same organization for 15 years. I was just interviewing a girl, and she was like surprised that I'm working with an organization for 15 years. While she kept on changing after. But if it is right for her, if it is working for her, it should be. So organizations should also change with time. So why not organizations are becoming Gen Z? Why only people are labeled as? Anybody is coming that I'm a Gen Z organization? No. So it's always two-way. Rather than labeling or blaming a group of people, have we created enough opportunities for people to stay back? Have we challenged them enough? Younger generation might look for a different challenge. What used to motivate me might not motivate you. So am I able to identify or crack that code that what works with new people? That's the core work of an HR or the leadership group. I would say not work of HR, it is the job of a leadership group to identify what works for people. And if I'm getting different people, my approach has to be different rather than blaming that, hey, you are different. So in a larger way, I would say that rather than putting a blame on Gen Z, it is their world. If you are, in that age, 20 years, 25 years, the world belongs to them. So whosoever is above that age, you need to take a back seat. So that is an understanding. People who are seniors, they need to understand. We need to serve them, and they are going to create the world. So there's a lot of talk, yes, about how much they should work, what do they do, but can you go and change their behavior at the places beyond the workplace? No, it is difficult. You need to make the workplace engaging for them. You can't say that don't go to parties after every day. while I used to go every Saturday. So your rule was different, this rule is different. So it's a complex thing, I would say. There's no one single answer. But only one thing I can say, let us stop blaming Gen Zs. The problem lies more with leadership.
Okay.
I'm adding more to the controversy, probably.
Okay. So, with challenging workforce demographics, digital transformation, and evolving employee expectations, how should HR and L&D adapt in the next 5 years to stay ahead?
I think one trend which is there, people need to catch up, all of us, is on the AI trend. How much AI is integrated in our work, how much we are understanding it, how much it will benefit us. I would still say that we are still learning, we are still understanding, we're figuring out how AI would help us. We're doing a bit of pilot here and there, especially the learning teams are doing it. But it has got immense capabilities to do phenomenally productive work. Means something which 4-5 people used to do in terms of analytics, and AI can give you in 10 minutes time. So am I able to catch up with that pace of technology development? So that's one area which I would say we need to start working. And second, especially from an L&D HR point of view, I would say that since technology is taking care of analytics and data, I need to now become master of people. I need to understand people better compared to past. Past, I was doing data also, I was doing everything. Today, I might be freed up with the help of technology. That can be taken care by data analytics, can be taken care by technology. I can interact with people, I can talk to people, I can understand the group requirement. I can build a cohesive group. Today, it will require higher effort compared to past. In past, people used to join a job and they used to stay. Today, they are not going to do. Don't put a blame on them that they are leaving in 1 year. Take a blame on yourself that you're not creating enough environment where people can stay back for 3 years, 5 years or 6 years. So this is an area where people need to work. So HR L&D has to work on people now. They got a lot of free time now, according to me.
Okay, sir. Lastly, a very quick rapid fire round will play.
Okay.
What's one piece of advice you wish someone had given you in your early career?
Given me in my early career, I've got a lot of advices that time. Maybe somebody would have given me advice that you will make it big.
Okay. Outside work, what hobby or activity keeps you energized?
Writing is a hobby which I carry. So I write. I'm a reflective person, so I create a lot of things. So I write poetry. This writing of the book is work of the last 3-4 years.
Wow.
So that is one area where I do it a lot.
Great. So there will be more
And
books.
another work which I am expert of, my wife can agree to it, is that I'm good at doing nothing. For 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I can sit and do nothing.
Oh.
Which many people can't.
Favorite leadership book or resource?
Right now, this is a leadership book which is favorite for me. But I think I'm a follower of Adam Grant. I read all his books. That genre, what he writes is kind of strong work which I follow. So he's one of the person which I'm following or reading a lot.
Okay. If you could teleport for a week, where would you go to reset your mind?
You're giving me ideas now. If I'm going alone or I'm going with people?
Alone.
If I'm going alone, then I would not like to go.
With people?
With people anywhere, any beachside location.
Beach.
I would say beachside location with my favorite people around me.
Wow. One value you never compromise on, personal or professional?
I would say it's about integrity for me. That is something which I keep it on a higher level. Integrity and hard work. This is two areas where I see that whatever I have achieved, these are the two value which has given me the result. I'm not so flamboyant, but the hard work has given me the result. So that is something which I would not drop. Kind of.
Great. So, Santosh sir, it was really nice talking to you. So many interesting insights you have shared, and I hope people have enjoyed after they listen to you, and obviously after reading your book also. So it was really nice having you on Pharma Now's podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I think what I liked is that the questions were impromptu, and while you have prepared, and I hope that I'm able to give a meaningful message to people which can be useful to them. And don't forget for picking this book, Ducking Nonsense, available on Amazon and Flipkart both.
Yay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.